Hello biology lovers, my name is Dukunimana Paul. Today it is unity number 5 called the tissue. This unity is from senior 4. I'm requesting you to do subscribe so that you can link with me to those students who are studying MCB, PCB and all other people who are interested in biology. So this unity 5 tissue, we're going to talk about animal tissue and also plant tissue. So I'm going to make this video very fun so that I'm sure that if you follow it very well, you're going to get a good grade in biology in your national examination, or you're going to live within environment, within other organism happily. So let's start. The content of today, we're going to talk about the meristematic tissue of the plant, where in the plant tissue they can be either meristematic tissue or they can be either permanent tissue. When we say meristematic tissue, are those tissue which is able to grow or divide, while the permanent tissue are those which are there for protection and storage, but they are not able to grow. So apart from the plant tissue, we will also look on the animal tissue, where there are 4 main types of animal tissue: epithelial, nervous tissue, muscle tissue, connective tissue. Then when we finish this, we will learn out on the organ system, where we're going to see the summary of each system, their function, their organelles. So I want you, all of you, to come to be together with me. So first of all, when we talk about the tissue, you know, all living organisms are made of cells. Within that cells there is organelles. Now the cells are a collection of organelles. Then when we put cells together, that is where we get a tissue. Means a tissue is a collection of the similar cells which perform similar function. So let's start by talking about animal tissue. So plant tissue. Classification of the plant tissue, they can be either meristematic tissue or permanent tissue. When we say meristematic tissue, are the tissue which is able to divide, means which is able to grow. We will have time to look on them detail, where in those tissue of meristematic tissue, they can be either apical meristematics, lateral, and even intercalary meristematic meristem tissue. In those which not able to divide, you can find permanent tissue. Now they are not able to divide, but in the permanent tissue, there are 2 classes. They can be either ground or vesicular. So those ground are for storage or protection, but for those vesicular, they are for transport, like xylem. Xylem, they transport the water and mineral salt from the soil to the plant, while phloem, they transport or conduct glucose, which is obtained by photosynthesis. So I'm going to describe this with full dedication. Hope you are happy to see these wonderful notes and take time and review. First of all, take your pen, your notebook. Now draw this. Plant tissue can be classified either meristematic tissue or permanent tissue. So meristematic tissue is able to divide apical, lateral, intercalary, while the permanent tissue, they can be either ground tissue or vesicular, where in the ground tissue they can be parenchyma, chorenchyma, sclerenchyma, while in vesicular they can be xylem or phloem. So let's start by talking about meristematic tissue, simply apical meristem. Normally, meristematic tissue are the tissue which is able for dividing, which means if there is cell division, there is the growth of the plant. So they can be either apical meristem, they can be either lateral meristem, they can be either intercalary meristem, but we will see later. So when we say apical meristem, what are we talking about? They are located at the tip of the roots or shoot. Means, when we say tip, this is the tip here, or this is the tip here. Means, when we say apical meristem, are the tissue which is located at the tip of the roots and at the tip of the shoot. I hope maybe I can take pen to show you what is this. Means at the tip of the shoot is here. This is called apical meristem. Now at the tip of the roots here this is what we call apical meristem. So means they are able to divide, means they are responsible for the height of the plant. Means this apical meristem, they help the plant to grow upward, while this apical meristem on the roots, they help the plant to grow toward the soil to obtain the nutrients. Also, this apical meristem, they are responsible for primary growth and increase in the plant height. I hope you are understanding this fact, because after understanding that they are located at the tip of the roots and the shoot, means they are responsible for the primary growth. When we say primary growth, we are talking about increase of the plant in the height. They contain small active dividing cells within the cell walls and the dense cytoplasm, and they maintain the population of and differentiate the cells to sustain growth. So this is all about apical meristem, where they are located at the tip of the shoot and at the tip of the roots, where they are helping the plant for primary growth, which means increase in the height. That means they contain the cell which is able to divide, then to divide for plant primary growth. So let's we talk about another types of meristematic tissue, which is lateral meristem. When you understand verb lateral, you understand that they are finding it here, like means it is not on the tip, now they are in lateral or at the edge. So means if this is the plant, now the lateral meristem, they are located in the lateral part of the plant. This is the lateral part of the plant. Apart from this, they are responsible for secondary growth. Remember, apical meristem, they are responsible for the primary growth. When we say primary growth, the plant are increasing in the height. But this lateral meristem, they are responsible for secondary growth, which means they are increasing the plant diameter. Means the diameter, means the thickness of the plant will be responsible by lateral meristem. So in nowadays, NESA is asking multiple choice. Whenever they said which meristematic tissue responsible for secondary growth, the answer is lateral meristem. Which the meristematic tissue or the tissue responsible for primary growth, the answer is the apical meristem, because they are having active dividing cells. Also, it gives the secondary xylem and phloem. Remember, in this stem is where I found xylem and the phloem as the vascular transport of tissue. They allow the thickening of the stems and the roots in the dicots and the gymnosperms. So this lateral meristem, they are responsible for the thickness of the plant, where they are responsible in the plant diameter, while apical meristem, they are responsible for the plant height. So let me talk about another meristematic tissue. Normally when you say meristematic tissue, they are tissue which is responsible for growth. Intercalary meristem, they are there finding the located in the region of the permanent tissue, often at the nodes. Nodes, when you say nodes, it is where the branch or the leaves are going to grow from. So in this region, it is called at the nodes. So it is where I found the intercalary meristems. Apart from this, they are responsible for the growth in the lymph, especially in the monocots. Remember when you say monocots, we are talking about the maize. Those maize are an example of the monocots. Remember, some maize, there is a branch which can come from here at the nodes. Then at this level, it is understandable. So this one, intercalary meristems allow for elongation of internodes and the leaves. So I hope this one is understandable. When we are talking about the meristematic tissue, we are talking about the tissue which is responsible for growth. So in the short, there is apical meristem, which is responsible for the plant height, which is also secondary growth. There is the lateral meristem, which is responsible for the plant diameter or thickness of the plant, and this intercalary meristem, which is responsible for elongation of internodes and the leaves. So I hope the meristematic tissue, which is responsible for growth, it is understandable. Let's we talk about the permanent tissue. In the permanent tissue, we have seen there is the ground tissue and also vascular tissue. So this permanent tissue, specifically ground tissue, we have also seen three examples. Number one were parenchyma and parenchyma and sclerenchyma. So parenchyma, it is mostly common in plant tissue found in the leaves. Keep this. And also stem, roots, and fruits. Those are examples of where we can find this kind of the permanent tissue. Remember, when we say permanent tissue, they are tissue which are not responsible for growth. They are there for maybe storage or protection. So they contain thin-walled cells with large vacuoles involved in storage. This is the function of the parenchyma. If they ask you the function of the parenchyma, they are responsible for storage, photosynthesis, and other metabolic process. So they exhibit advanced functioning, including support, storage, and gas exchange. So in the permanent tissue, specifically gland tissue, parenchyma, those cells which contain large vacuole, they are help in support, storage, and gas exchange in the plant. So I hope parenchyma, it is understandable. Let's look on the parenchyma. So parenchyma, they provide mechanical support and flexibility to the plant. Means, you know, the plant do not move, do not make locomotion, but remember, they just shake itself. So they are helped by parenchyma. If there is no parenchyma, the plant in the wind, they can move and they will not come back, and they will destroy out. But because of this parenchyma, the plant is being supported and flexible. Also, they contain the cells of unevenly thicked cell walls, allowing for bending and stretching. So it means whenever there is wind, the reason why the plant do not fall down, it is because of this parenchyma. Those are the cells of the parenchyma. This is how they are looking. Sorry, this is how they are looking like. So apart from this, they are found in the region where growth is still occurring, such as young stems and the leaf veins. So let me talk about on the sclerenchyma, another part of the ground tissue, specifically permanent tissue, which is normally responsible for support. This sclerenchyma, they provide also mechanical support and protection to the plant. Also, they have their cells have thick, lignified cell wall, making them rigid and bright. Also, they are found in the mature tissue, such as seed coat, fruits walls, and the fibers of the some plants. So, that's all about the permanent tissue, specifically gland tissue, where we have found parenchyma, which is found in those leaves, fruits. They are responsible for the storage. Parenchyma, which is specifically responsible for the stretch of the plant, flexibility, and this sclerenchyma also provide the mechanical support. Remember, this one is found in immature, where there is plant still growing, but this sclerenchyma, they are found in the plant where there is mature tissue. So remember, permanent tissue is divided either gland tissue or vascular. In vascular, we have xylem and phloem. So all of those, when we say vascular, you know, vessels. For human blood, for human body, we have blood vessels, but plant do not have blood vessels, but God have created them xylem to transport and phloem to transport instead of blood vessels of human being. So this is the structure of xylem. In the structure of xylem, we are having two main cells, where we have what we call vascular element and the tracheoid. But I will come on this diagram after describing what is xylem. So xylem is responsible for the transport of water and dissolved minerals from the root to the shoot. So xylem, this is the only one function of xylem. Please pause and review. The function of xylem is responsible for transport of water and minerals from the roots to the shoot. Apart from this, it is composed by dead cells with thick, lignified cell wall. Remember that xylem is composed by dead cells, because in the upcoming vascular tissue called phloem, here will be living cells. So this xylem, it is composed by cells with thick, lignified cell wall and has no protoplasma. When we say protoplasma, it is a nucleus plus cytoplasm. So they are mainly composed by trachoid, vessels, element, extreme fibers, and extreme parenchyma. Those are a main part of extreme. So when we come here on this figure, this is what they are saying about trachoid, this one, okay? This cell, it is called trachoid cells, and this one, it is called the vessel element. Together, they are helping us to transport the water and the mineral salt from the roots up to the shoot. This water, remember, is responsible for photosynthesis. Those minerals like nitrate, they are helping plant to make the protein, so that the protein will enter in food chain by consumers eating the plant. So also this extreme, they contain this trachoid and the vessel element, which are a main cells formed to conduct the element, while the fibers and the parenchyma provide support and storage. So go on this structure of extreme and then pause and review. Take your notes, please draw from the scratch. The research has shown that if you are studying by writing, there is high chance of succeeding your examination. So what the point to mark on this extreme? Their function to transport water and mineral salt from the roots to the shoot. Now, apart from this, you know that extreme, it is made of dyed cells. Now they are composed by trachoids and the vessel element cells, which are helping this to make their function. Apart from the extreme, in vascular tissue, we have what we call also phloem. So the phloem, their function is what we call translocation. When we say translocation, it is the process in which the glucose is from the leaves where it is made by photosynthesis and then transported to other part of the plant. So means this transport of the glucose is responsible by phloem tissue. So it is responsible for translocation of organic nutrients such as glucose or sucrose from the leaves to other parts of the plant. Remember, in the leaves is where photosynthesis is taking place. At this level, we talk about also this phloem is composed by living cells. Remember, in extreme, we said it is composed by dyed cells, means not living, but here it is living cells. They have the element what called safe tubes element and the companion cells. Remember, they are on the extreme where there was trachoid. Apart from trachoid, there is also there was also, I think, if you are remembering here, there was trachoid and vessel element. But here, remember, we are having CF tube element and the companion cells. Apart from this, the main component of this phloem, there is CF tube element, companion cells, even fibers, and this parenchyma. The function of the parenchyma, remember, it is mechanical support for this tissue. So when we go on the diagram, this phloem, they are having companion cells and also CF tube element, which are the main part of this phloem. There's also parenchyma for storage. All of these cells, companion cells and CF tube element, they are helping together to do what we call translocation, which is transport of the glucose or the organic nutrient from the leaves to other part of the plant. So pause and review and understand them very well. So let me have a comparison on extreme and the phloem. So the comparison here, remember, even before even giving the notes, you can even provide. So this one is responsible for transport of the water and the mineral salt, while this one is translocation, transport of glucose from the leaves to other part of the plant. Remember, this one is made of dyed cells, while this one is made of living cells. Remember, the main cells here is trachoid and even vessel element, while this one, there is made of CF tube and even companion cells. So let's have a look on the table, where extreme, they transport water and dissolved minerals, while phloem transport organic nutrient, as I said. This extreme is composed by dead cells, while this phloem is composed by living cells. Remember, extreme, they are transporting water. If it is transporting water, always water is from the soil or from the roots up to the shoot. Means it is unidirectional. Means there is no chance where there is water is going to move from the shoot to the roots, because always water is from the roots. That's why unidirectional. While bidirectional, remember there is transport of the glucose from the leaves. They can be either transported either upward toward the shoot, or they can be transferred downward toward the roots, because all the part of the plant they require this glucose. That's why bidirectional. While here it is unidirectional, only upward. But this one, glucose will be up of the plant, even down of the plant, because all the part of the plant they require glucose. So this X-ray, they have cell wall are thick and lignified, while the cell wall of the phloem they are thin and even cellulosic. Then when you go to the main component, remember this X-ray, there is vessel element and even tracheate. While this phloem, we have companion cells and save a tube. Go and pause on review on the diagram and then know where each part are locating. So apart from this, I hope this is the end of the comparison between extreme and phloem. Let we have a comparison between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Remember, meristematic tissue, apical, intercalary, and even lateral. While the permanent, there is ground and even vesicular. In ground, you have parenchyma, sclerenchyma, chorenchyma, and even vesicular, you have extreme and the phloem. So, the next, the comparison between meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. If they give you this exam on the exam, please don't get zero, because come and say, meristematic tissue, it is dividing, means they're responsible for glow. If it is responsible for glow, means they are having dividing cells. While here it is not actively dividing, because they are already divided. While what is happening there, it is they already differentiated, specialized for either storage or the protection. Normally, meristematic tissue is small and undifferentiated cells, while this one permanent tissue, they are large, highly specialized cells. Meristematic tissue, they have thin cell wall and dense cytoplasm, while permanent tissue, they have thick cell wall and they have varied cell wall thickness and composition. Why they are having thick? Because they are responsible for protection. If you are slim, can you get a job of bouncer? No, because you are slim, there is no way that they think that you don't have energy. So the same case for here on permanent tissue, their target is for protection. They should have thick cell wall. Now, meristematic tissue also, they are responsible for growth and development, while the permanent tissue, they are responsible for performing specialized function. So like even when it asks you to compare, it is also good if you give an examples and also are the one of the cause or are the one of the way to compare. Apart from this, I think we have talked about a lot on the plant tissue. So plant tissue, we have seen there is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue, where meristematic tissue are the tissue which are glowing, and let we keep reminding, because the repeating it is the one way of pedagogy. So like meristematic tissue, they are responsible for the dividing, where there is apical meristem responsible for the primary growth and even plant height. There is lateral meristem responsible for secondary growth. Normally it is plant diameter, and intercalary meristem responsible for internodules and leaf development. So in the permanent, they can be either ground tissue or they can be either vesicular. In the ground, they are responsible for the storage, even protection. Like you have seen parenchyma for mechanical support, storage and protection. We have seen also sclerenchyma, which is responsible for flexibility of the plant, and even chorenchyma responsible for mechanical support. So let we go in the significance of specialized plant tissue. Normally, why do we have specialized plant tissue? Means why some plant tissue they are trained to go and do mechanical support or storage or transport. So they do specialization to allow efficient transport and distribution of the water, mineral salt, and nutrient. This function is for X-ray. Okay. Also, they are specialized to make efficient structure support and protection. Here you can say are example for the permanent tissue like sclerenchyma, parenchyma. Yes. Also, they are specialized for photosynthesis, storage, and reproduction. Remember, only those cells with chloroplast, they are able to do photosynthesis. Also, they are adapted to different environment and growth conditions. So all of these 4 points are important. If they ask you why specialized plant tissue are necessary, those are the answers. Now we have talked a lot in the animal plant tissue. Let we talk about only specialized animal tissue. Normally, animal tissue, they are only in 4 types, where there is epithelial tissue, those tissue which cover our surface, and also there is the nerve tissue, nerve system, those which is help in coordination, and the muscle tissue, this tissue which help in contraction and even giving the shape. Also there is connective tissue, but this connective tissue, they contain loose, dense cartilage, bone, but this muscle tissue, they can be either cartilage, this muscle, they can be either cardiac, smooth, and skeletal muscle. In this neuron tissue, there are neurons and even glial cells. Also, this epithelial tissue, there is epithelial cells. So this is the summary, but we are going to do one by one. So apart from this, the animal tissue, they can be either epithelial tissue, they can be either muscle tissue, nervous tissue, even connective tissue. So let me talk about epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, they are cells closely packed. They are closely packed cells arranged in the sheet. As you are seeing very well here, they are arranged in the sheet, like sheet, one by one. Apart from this, they cover external and internal surfaces of the body. So let's take example of this gastrointestinal or digestive system. So from the mouth up to the anus. So there is this surfaces like the mouth, they are covered by this epithelial tissue. So even the skin, this skin, there is some epithelial tissue. Now they are specialized for protection. They help in circulation, even absorption. As I said, they are there in the digestive system, even in the kidney tubules, where the reabsorption, they are supposed to be epithelial cells. So there are types, they are simple. They are simple if I have said that epithelial tissue, they are arranged in the sheet. If they are arranged in the sheet, but only one cells, we call these cells as simple. Simple means you count one cells, one, means they are simple. One cell, they are simple. One means they are simple. But whenever there are 2 cells, we will call this stratified. You can say them squamous if they are in the shape of this squamous, in this shape. You can call them cuboidal if they are in the form of the cubes. If those cells which are arranged are in the cube shaped, we can call them cuboidal if those cells which is arranged are in form of the cubes. Now we can call them transitional if the cells they are changing one by one. So see, if it is the one cell and in column, that's called the simple columnar epithelial cells. If it is only one and in the shape of the cube, we say simple cuboidal. If they are more than one, now they are no longer simple, they are stratified, but in the cube shape, we say stratified, cuboidal, and so on and so forth. Remember, epithelial cells, their target function, normally absorption, protection, secretion, even others. So the characteristics of epithelial cells, they are apical and basal surface, means here on where the cells will be sit, they are called the basal surface. Then upward, they are called the apical surface. So means their priority, they have apical and the basal surface. Another characteristics of epithelial cells, they are specialized cell to cell contact, means there is no any gap between 2 cells. they are supported by connective tissue because these epithelial cells alone they can't function unless they are not supported by connective tissue at the basal surface. Means they are attached only connective tissue. Now it is a vascular. Keep this head. There is no blood vessels or blood in epithelial tissue. Note that. No blood vessels in epithelial tissue. And also they are highly regenerative capacity. So I hope this is understandable and even you can understand them. Apart from this, let's finally look at function of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, the function number 1, as I said, it is protection. Number 2 is secretion and absorption. Number 3, it is sensory receptor, like in the tongue. They are help in filtration and regulation, like in kidney. They help in the regulation and the replacement of the damaged cells. This is the end of the epithelial cell tissue. You should know that it is a vascular. They are covering of external and internal surface organs. Also, their function are protective, secretion, absorption, sensory reception, and so on and so forth. So it is better to understand their covering of our internal organ, even external organ, and they do not have blood vessels. So let's go on muscle tissue. When you say muscle tissue are specialized for contraction and movement, there are 3 types of the muscles, where I said there is smooth muscle, normally found in disc and in the digestive system, cardiac, found in heart, skeletal muscle, which found attached to the skeleton or bones. So smooth muscles, like characteristics of smooth muscle, they are always internal organ. You can't find smooth muscle in outside. Normally they are involuntary. When we say involuntary, means this muscle will work without your will. Means they can work whenever you want or you don't want. You can't tell your stomach to digest or not. Means they are controlled by nerve system, autonomic nerve system. So remember, smooth muscle are involuntary and found in internal organs. Cardiac muscle, again, also it is involuntary muscle because you can't tell your heart to pump or not. They are found only in heart. Skeletal muscle, they are only voluntary, means they are attached to the bones. You can tell your biceps or your triceps to contract or not. This means they are voluntary. They can work on your will. So in nowadays, multiple choice are there. Please note that smooth muscle and cardiac muscle, they are involuntary, and while skeletal muscle are voluntary. Keep this in your memory. Characteristics of the muscles, they are elongated and contractile cells, means they are uniform. They are elongated, means they are not in a circular way. So they contain actin and myosin filament. Keep this. Smooth muscle only, they are not striated, means when we say striated, here I should have a pen to show when we say striated, there is muscle fiber like this, which is elongated, normally elongated muscle fiber. When we say there is striation, there is this elongated muscle fiber and there is another which is one and close linking. This is what we call striation. This is what we call striation. So now in smooth muscle there is no striation. Smooth muscle, they are only elongated but not striation. Means smooth muscle spindle, they are in spindle shaped, no striation. While the cardiac muscle, they are branched, means they are striated with intercalated disc, and even skeletal muscle, they are striated and attached to the bone. Those are the characteristics of individual types of muscle. If they say smooth muscles, understand no striation, only they are elongated. While skeletal muscle, they are striated only. Now, if they ask which type of the muscle attached to the bone, answer is skeletal muscle. Which the types of the muscle, no striation, smooth muscle. I hope you are understanding them. Which type of the muscle, branched and found in the heart, cardiac muscle. Thank you so much. I hope this one is understandable for everyone. So apart from this, I hope you are understanding them very well. Let's go to the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue, apart from epithelial tissue and the muscle tissue, they are specialized for communication and information processing, means coordination of the body, communication and information processing. Once your nervous tissue is not working properly, you are going to be crazy. You are going to be talkative. You are going to be gossip people. So please eat healthy in order to conserve your nervous tissue well, so that your communication, your thought, your message will be clear and well processed. So whenever nervous tissue is not working properly, you are going to become mad. So like normally, nervous tissue is composed by neurons. These neurons are the only one cells very important in this nervous tissue, but also there are another supporting cells which support what? Neurons. They are called glial cells. Normally, these glial cells are 90% of the nervous tissue, but normally neurons are there as 10%, but they function, they do the function of the coordination and the thinking. So neurons are specialized for receiving and transmitting and integrating signals. Means neurons are the cells which process our data and give the response. Means the glial cells, as I said, just only support insulation and protection for the neurons. Neurons are there to perform the coordination of the body, while glial cells, they are like a wife of neurons. Their target only is to support, only that, provide support to the neurons, which that cells, glial cells. Very good, thank you so much. Apart from this, this is the what I was saying. Even also glial cells, this is what happening. So this structure. It is the neurons. Pause and review, because they can even give you the structure like this to ask you where do you have cell body, where do you have nucleus, where do you have the axon. Now we'll have time to talk about in detail when we reach in the nervous system in senior 6, when God allows us. So connective tissue, which is the final tissue. There are 4 types of the tissue in human being. In the animal tissue, where we have epithelial tissue, we have we have the muscle tissue, even nervous tissue. Finally, there is only connective tissue. Whenever you understand connect is to join or to link or to support, things like that, 2 things. So connective tissue, they provide structure and connection between tissue and the organism. Not only this, they are divided into loose, dense, adipose, cartilage, and bones. All of these are examples of connective tissue. There is no any bone tissue happen. Only bone are example of connective tissue. Bone, cartilage, adipose, dense, loose tissue. So let's discuss a little bit. Loose connective tissue, they contain cells and fibers in the matrix. So whenever you understand the cell to be connective tissue, they should have cell, of course, because the tissue is collection of the cells. They should have fibers and also fluid matrix. If there is no such 3 things, this cell is not connective tissue. Let me repeat this because it is very important. The cell will collect connective tissue when it contains number 1, cells, number 2, fibers, number 3, a matrix. So that is the 3 component of the connective tissue. So now here there is cells, fibers in it, and the matrix. Dense connective tissue are the high density of the collagen fibers, as I said. Even the tendons and the ligament, of course, they have matrix and the cells. Adipose tissue, the normally tissue which is responsible for the storage of energy in the form of the fat. If they ask you which the tissue responsible to store energy in the form of the fat, answer will be adipose tissue. Whenever you get adipose tissue, remember it composed by fat cells. Remember it restores fats energy. Thank you. Apart from this, this is what I was talking about. This one also, this is what I was talking about. Let's go to the function of the connective tissue. Number 1, They help in structural support and protection, as I said. Also, they are help in cushioning and the shock absorption. Here it is for adipose tissue, which is having the fat, and remember, fat is shock absorber. Also, they help in the storage and the transport of the nutrients. Okay, they help in the immune response and wound healing. Also, they help in attachment and connection between tissue and the organs. Thank you so much. So we can have a table which now summarizes what we have talked about. When you say epithelial cells, epithelial tissue, the main characteristics, they are closely packed cells, no any gap there. There is polarity, remember basal, and they have two parts. Now they are specialized to contacts. When you say they are specialized to contacts, they cover our internal and external surface. Their function is protection, secretion, absorption, and sensation. Muscle tissue, they are elongated. They help in contraction, or they are contractile cells with actin and myosin. Whenever we say which tissue do you found actin and myosin, only muscle found such these things. Their function is movement and locomotion. Nerves, the only neurons and glial cells for communication. Their function is coordination. We have also connective tissue, which is diverse cell types and the extracellular matrix, even with fibers. Matrix, cells, and fibers are three characteristics of connective tissue. Their target is to support structure, transport, immune response. So animal tissue and plant tissue now are done. We can have what we call level of organization, where organism, they can be either multicellular or unicellular. But if you are multicellular, you are made of billion and billion cells. These cells, as I told you, they are built to make tissue. Now tissue, correction of the tissue, they become organ. Organ together will become organ system. Organ system will become organism. I hope it is there from senior 1, senior 2, senior 3. If you don't know this, there is no hope for you. You are requested to go to sit down and read all those books and understand how things is happening. This level of organization means when the tissue are put together, they form organ, and when organ are put together, they form organ system. So allow me to talk about organ system in quickly, because after understanding this, we are going to be very aware of human being from the organelles, cell, tissue, organ, system, and organism. So let me talk about on the organ system number 1, which is called cardiovascular system. When you say cardiovascular system, it's all about circulatory system. Okay, their function is to transport nutrient, oxygen. Whenever your circulatory system is broken, there is no way your nutrient can be transported, even oxygen and other substance to the body cells, and even carbon dioxide, waste, and other substance away from cells. It is also help in regulation of the body temperature and the pH. So the function of circulatory system is to transport nutrient, transport oxygen, transport waste product, help in regulation of the temperature, help in regulation of pH. So organ which found in the cardiovascular or circulatory system, they are only 3. This question were there always in primary 6, where they ask you what are the component of circulatory system. Answer were heart, blood vessels, and even blood. Thank you so much. Pause and review. Whenever your cardiovascular system is having a problem, either heart or blood vessels, your nutrient will not be transported, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other waste product. Even you will have the problem of the temperature regulation and the pH regulation. So another organ system next, it is lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, they are the system which help us to defend against infection and the diseases. Means they are like our soldiers. They help to transfer the lymph between tissue and the bloodstream. Only two function: to defend our body from infection, and even they help to transport the lymph or to transfer lymph between tissue and the bloodstream. So organelles are quite many. There is lymph. We will discuss this in detail in senior 6, but lymph are like blood, except there is no red blood cells within it. There is lymph nodes and lymph vessels, adenoids, tonsils, thymus, and this spleen. So we will discuss this detail in senior 6. There is also digestive system. I think every one of you know this. If you don't know, even there is no hope for you, because digestive system is taught to in P5 until now. The function, it is food digestion, and even it's all about food digestion. So organelle inside there is salivary gland, esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, anus, and so on and so forth. Oh, hope you know this. It is very easy. Apart from the circulatory system, lymphatic system, digestive system, there is another system called the integumentary system. When you say integumentary system, normally it is skin, hair, and nails are those systems normally which their target is like a defense, which is like a means they are defense normally. So their function is physical defense against microorganisms. Imagine you guys, if you don't have skin, how much of the microbes will enter? Imagine guys, if you don't have hairs, how you can understand millions of ways in which God it is very caring to us, because they give us those physical defense against microbes. So the target of integumentary system, like skin, hair, and nails, they are help in physical defense in microbes, and even they help in temperature control. Imagine if you don't have skin, how your temperature will be look like, and even they protect us from the injury, even fluid loss. Those are all about function of integumentary system. So there is a muscular system. Normally it's all about muscles. As I said, there is muscle tissue made of skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and even smooth muscle. They are help in heat production, movement, and even support. No one who can say, if they ask you the function of muscular system and you get 0, come and I can beat you 10 sticks. Another system, it is called endocrine system. Whenever you understand endocrine system, it's all about hormones. Now hormones are there to coordinate our body, but in the way by communicating using hormones. They release hormones. For example, they release testosterone, and then you feel doing sexy. Oh, help me, because these things is not very easy. Oh my goodness. Endocrine system, there is communication within the body with hormones. Means they coordinate the body by help of hormones. Directly, long-term changes over other organism system to maintain homeostasis. So normally organ involved here among many, the pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal, testes, ovaries. Oh my God, only me, I remained with only testes. There is no hope for you, only testicles. Please take other one, don't only take testicles, because it is only one, which one is take testicles, ovaries, thyroid, but we will take time to discuss this endocrine system in senior 6. Oh my God, I just making you P6. Oh my God, only God can help me to make this scene not to affect me, because to take you in P6, remember how many years P6, so I apologize to you. So nerve system, also there is another system, not only endocrine system, which is nerve system. Now they coordinate the body in terms of the signaling. By help of the signals, just they coordinate the body. They are receiving and transferring the processing information. Means whenever you don't have nerve system, you will be crazy. People they will take you like crazy. Directly short-term changes over other organ system in order to maintain homeostasis. So normally, endocrine and the nervous system, all of them they help in the coordination of the body, but one is long-term changes, because hormones they will take time to reach on the organ, but the nervous system they communicate short-term, because they are signal like electricity. Whenever you press on the switch, the bulb will produce light. So nervous system they are short term, while endocrine, they work long term. So what are the organs, tissue involved? There is brain, spinal cord, nerve, sense, or means there are many there. And even here, this one, sensory organs. If you don't know sensory organ, there is no hope for you. What are the nerves for the eye? Optical nerve. What are the nerves for eyes which transport the message to the brain? Auditory nerve. What are here on the tongue? Gustative nerve. What is your skin? Sensory nerve. What about the nose? Olfactory nerve. Nerves. This is the story of the P6. Please note and review. Apart from this system, there is also a reproductive system. All of you are happy because many people, they are like this unity. Normally, there is a function. Their target is to produce offspring or a baby. Production of young ones. Okay. Reproductive system, they help in production of the sex cells. Sex cells, I am saying sperm and even ovum. They also help to produce sex hormones, estrogen, testosterone. We will say this more in senior 6. There is also production of young ones. All of those are organs found there. Pause and review. Let's talk also respiratory system, or about respiration. They release air to the seat where gas exchange can occur between blood and the air. Whenever I say respiratory system, from the nose, oh my God. Larynx, oh my God. Trachea, oh my God. Bronchus, oh my God. Bronchial, oh my God. Alveol, oh my God. Gas exchange, before you know it, oxygen is reaching in the blood. Now the organelles like the tissue and the organs involved in this system, there is muscle, nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs, and diaphragm. Those are the organelles, organs found in this system. So another system, finally, there is urinary system, which control the pH. Normally this one is responsible for formation of the urine. Normally, urinary system, their target is formation of the urine by controlling even the pH, removal of excess water, because in the urine there is water, salt, and even waste product from the blood and the body. Whenever the blood having waste product and the blood reach the kidney, the blood will be filtered. Now they will be removal of the waste product, salt, minerals, whatever. All of those will be dumped in the urine. Before you know it, you go to the toilet. Before you know it, all of the waste are from the body by help of urinary system. So the organs, the tissue, and the structures involved are kidney, urethra, urinary bladder, and the ureter. Pause and review and go and revise them. But also senior 5, we will discuss this one deeply. So there is also skeleton muscle. Normally in primary, they ask this the right full function of the skeleton. Before you know it, right structure. It means skeleton help us to make a structure or the shape, help to protect. Even the skeleton, they contain the minerals like calcium. Means this skeleton they help to produce the minerals. They help to store. Whenever you consume a lot of the calcium, they are going to store in your bone. Whenever there is no calcium in your blood, the bone will give you the calcium. I know many of you don't know that all our blood vessels, white blood cell, red blood cell, platelet, all of them, they are formed in the bones, but you don't know. Please, can you clap for once for skeleton, because they give you blood in your heart. Thank you. So there is also movement at the joint, because when you don't have malfunctioning skeleton, you can't even move. The organs, tissue, and the structure involved there are bones, cartilage, and the ligaments. Pause and review. This were all about the organ system. In the national examination, normally this question of asking advantage and disadvantage of being multicellular organism, they asked this such question more times. That's why I bring such content in this video. So stay tuned and understand. Take a notebook again for those who are lazy. Just please, if you want to become a success, remember this: success is not accident. Just sit down, know your purpose. Don't allow those who are calling you come and enjoy. Please, the time of enjoyment will come. Please, this content can make you a doctor who can make a surgery of the heart. Imagine that. If you want to reach that level, stay focused. Those who are making you to go to enjoy, don't call. Don't allow them to make your life bad. Now, what is multicellular organism? It's kind of revision because in the previous video we have talked about this. Whenever you say you are a unicellular organism, means you composed by single cell. Means you are an organism composed by single cell that perform all necessary function of the life. Imagine how this organism, it is very economic. It has only one cell and they are performing all activities. Oh my goodness, very miraculous. Then what is multicellular organism? Whenever we say multi, it is many, means it is organism made of many cells. An organism composed by many cells that work together to perform various functions. This organism is called multicellular organism. Pause and review on this definition. Now, advantage of being multicellular organism. Number one, there is wide range of function due to cell specialization. Number two, being able to survive in a broad range of environments. Number three, can acquire nutrients by consuming other organisms. Number four, increased complexity and even brilliance. Number five, specialized tissue and organ system of efficient function. Pause and review because it is somehow very understandable. Memorize them. Whenever you see the problem, just try to understand it. Now, means if you are a multicellular organism, means you are specialized, means each function is done by its cells. Okay. Now, if you are a multicellular organism, you can survive in good condition, environment or bad environment. Like you can live in Kigali, which is very hot, and you can live in Musanze, which is very cold. Because of what? You have many cells which have many adaptations, many specialization. Whenever you are multicellular, you can consume other organisms because you are having a well-developed digestive system, okay? If you are a multicellular organism, means you have complexity, means and you are resilience, means you are stable. So the advantage of being a multicellular organism, you require more nutrients. Because of many cells, you will require many food. That's why you are hungry a little bit. While amoeba, they are there, no, not hungry because it is unicellular. Whenever you are a multicellular, you have a slower reproduction. Okay, imagine to be mature, you have to be 15 years. Okay, normally to be able to be adolescent for a female, it is normally like 11 years. Even for boy, like even at 12 years. Imagine that. Increased vulnerability to the diseases and infection, and even it require complex regulatory mechanism because if you are a multicellular organism, we will have many wastes. That's why we should have complex the mechanism to remove those wastes. So let's talk about the advantage of being unicellular. Number one, it requires few nutrients, as I said, because it is one cell, few nutrients. Some can generate energy through photosynthesis, can work together in beneficial ways, symbiosis or mutualism, able to multiply and reproduce quickly, however, have lower energy and source demand. So means what were disadvantage of multicellular organism, now it become the advantage of unicellular organism. You see how to study it is very easy. So, disadvantage of being unicellular organism, only one cells to perform all functions. This is disadvantage because imagine you are having one cell to perform all functions. Some function will not be well done. Limited range of the function and specialization, vulnerability to the environment and change and the threats, and even lack of complexity and resilience. Means what were advantage on multicellular organism, it becomes disadvantage of unicellular organism. So pause and review this very well colored notes. Let's compare unicellular and multicellular organism in terms of complexity. It is clear this is simple, complex. Specialization, here there is no specialization, this is high specialization. Nutrient and resource demand unicellular because it is one cell, row of cells, while multicellular higher. In terms of reproduction, remember amoeba to do binary fusion, it is before you know it, it is divided, but for multicellular organism it is a slow process. While resilience or stability, this one is slow or this is high. I hope this is clear. Even if they ask you advantage, you can say This one it is not complexity, but this one it is high. Things like this. You can even have advantage and disadvantage from this table. Apart from this, I can thank you all who survived this video until the end. So this was not just a video, just study very well, study hard. Only Jesus knows how you are dreaming to become good in this future. So work for this goodness. Almighty Father bless you all. Thank you so much.